So, you just started working out in the gym, or maybe you've been working out for a few years, and you want to see what equipment other people use to increase performance, increase muscle mass, or to prevent injuries. And in this video today, I'm going to share all the equipment I have in my gym bag that I take with me every time I go work out to increase the enjoyment, my performance, and to prevent injuries. So the first thing I have in my bag is, not surprisingly, a belt. And it's a leather belt that I got on Amazon for like 60, 70 bucks. It's one of the cheaper leather belts, but I've had this thing for over a year and it hasn't gotten any damage. It's a really good leather belt and I'm happy with my decision. Leather belts are generally better than the ones where you just buckle and you put the little metal thing through the hole. You can get a lot tighter abdominal pressure when you squat and deadlift. And they look a lot better in my opinion too, but from an aesthetic point of view. Just make sure you get your size right, measure your waist before you buy one, because you don't want to get one too big or too small. They do come with holes, so if you do grow a little bit, you can move the notches up and down to increase the size, but you don't want to get one where it only fits on the first two or it only fits on the last two, because then you probably pick the wrong size. You want to get a leather belt where you ideally screw it in the middle. So if you gain a little bit of weight, you can put it. If you lose a little bit of weight, you can move it down. And you can see right here, this is where I used to put it, but I gained a little bit of weight, so now it's up. So the second thing that I have in my bag is wrist wraps, and I love wrist wraps. They help so much. So normally when you bench and your form's not 100% like correct, you're gonna have the bar right here and it's gonna create a lever arm between your wrist and your forearm. And you're gonna have all that weight right there, so your forearms has to do more work to try to make sure your wrist doesn't snap in half. But a wrist wrap, once you put it on your wrist, give me a second. Once you put it on your wrist, my wrist can't bend backwards anymore. So the bar is forced to stay on top of my forearm so it doesn't create any more lever arm, and I can make a very smooth push forward. All the energy is going into that bar and not into my forehand, so it doesn't snap my wrist in half. I love wrist wraps. They're like 25 bucks at Academy. I think that's where I got these, 20 bucks at Academy maybe. Had it over a year. A little bit of wear on them, but they still both work. Next thing I keep in my bag is wired earbuds. So I've been to the gym multiple times where I forgot my AirPods before, and I've learned the hard way that I should probably bring some wired earbuds and just keep in my bag forever. So I at least always have music to listen to if I forget my AirPods. So this comes in clutch multiple times. They're actually louder than AirPods too. So if I'm going for a big PR, I sometimes just use the wired ones. Next thing I keep in my bag is some chalk, some grip chalk. So I just put it in my little Ziploc in my bag like this. So I'm about to deadlift and I'm very sweaty because it's the leg day. I can put some chalk in my hands and I can just grip it and I can pull it up. This helps a lot. Chalk's like 10 bucks off Amazon, so it's really nothing. And it lasts virtually forever because you use such a little amount of chalk when you're deadlifting. So the most recent thing I added to my bag was these elastic bands. I like them because I warm up with these. It prevents my shoulder injuries. So I pretty much just take it, do the standard warm-ups. If you want a video about how I warm up before I work out, just let me know. But these are great. It gets the blood flowing in my shoulders and my legs, and it probably prevented a lot of injuries for me. So, great choice. And the last thing I have in my bag is this little deadlifting wedge. So, every time you deadlift, you have to put the 5-pound weight underneath it so you can take all the plates off if you don't have one of those sophisticated deadlifting things. But the 5-pound plates at my gym, they kind of suck for that. So I 3D printed my own deadlifting wedge. So you just put it under the 45 pounds, and you take the rest off, and you take the last 45 off. It's great. I mean, it didn't take that long to print, it doesn't use that much materials, and I use it virtually every time I deadlift. So I pretty much keep everything in a bag like this. It's really nothing fancy, but it does the job. So that's really all the equipment that I use. In the order of most important to least important, I would put the belt as most important. I would put probably the wrist wraps as second, and then the bands as third, and then the chalk is fourth, and the wired earbuds is fifth. Wired earbuds, it's nice and convenient to have, but if you're very responsible and you just bring your AirPods, you really don't need it. But yeah, that's the order I would put it in. So if you like this content, if you want more of this content, please subscribe. It helps me, helps the channel, and I'll see y'all next time.